Can someone please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I have typed a message on the chat asking if I'm audible because I'm not able to hear you back. Can someone please type on the chat? Oh, okay. Give me just. I'm sorry, I don't know. Like I was there in this room earlier also. I'm trying to join through my mobile now.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Pujan Mataji. Is it better now? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, Hari Bol. Yes. Finally, I can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. I was always assuming that that my voice is not audible, or I was thinking maybe I'm in the wrong meeting room. So I was checking around. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's start with the quick Mangala Charan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जलाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगणा रघुनाथां वितं तं सजीवं साधवेतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखानुतं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, I have joined my mobile. So, is it okay if we read the verse from our phones, or let me, because I don't want to spend more time now identifying. If somebody is there on the laptop, maybe we can share. Otherwise, we will read it individually from our screens. Is that okay? Using messages? All right. So I read the verse from my laptop screen, but Zoom, there was no audio. So uh, I can still make that. I load it from the laptop and then sharing the screen from there. Yes. So we are going to start the new chapter, which is chapter number 22 from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4. And before this verse, we see Ritu Maharaj was speaking to people in his kingdom and explaining about the varnas and ashramas. And when he was doing so, then the four Kumaras comes. And these four Kumaras are the great personalities for many, many reasons. They are uh, they are the sons of Brahmaji, and they are even Agraj. Agraj means elder to Lord Shiva also. Lord Shiva took birth after the four Kumaras. So we are going to learn so many things in today's discussion, and especially one important aspect is the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada, what he is trying to mention in the purpose. And it is going to add a lot of value to our spiritual life. And if we follow the footsteps of Ritu Maharaj, what mood he had while receiving four Kumaras, that will rejuvenate the way we deal with the Vaishnavas in our society today. So, without taking more time, because we really started a little late, and seek your forgiveness for that. We start with the text one. Natriya Vacha Janeshu Pragnar Atasva Evam Pratum Pratula Vikramam Atro Pajag Murmunya Tatvarah Surya Varchasaha. Any Prabhuji or Mataji wants to read the translation? There is no purport to this.
Shall I read
Hare,
Mata? Translation.
Yes. So, yes, Divya Mataji, please go ahead. And Krishna Prabhuji, we will read the second verse.
Translation by
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Maitreya said, while the citizens were thus praying to the most powerful King Prithu, the four Kumaras, who were as bright as the sun, arrived on the spot. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams.
Thank you, Mataji. So, as we discussed, Maitreya Muni is explaining this to Lord to Viduraji, and then Lord Prithu when he was speaking, right? And while the citizens were just praying to the most powerful king Prithu, at that time, these four Kumaras, who are as bright as the sun, they arrived on the spot. So the reason why four Kumaras are compared to the brightness of sun here is one reason, because when the devotees comes, okay, then any kind of darkness in our life in the form of the doubts, that disappears. Okay. So it is said, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Hoya Andhakara, Jaha Krishna Vaha Nahi, Maya Ra Adhikara. So Krishna is compared to the sun and Maya is compared to the darkness. And wherever there is sun, wherever there is Krishna, there is no question of Maya or the darkness. So what we learn from here is that these jivas are part of the marginal energy, the Tatastha Shakti of the Lord. And being in the marginal energy, we do always have a choice which direction we want to incline ourselves to, towards the darkness or towards the light. So this choice is the only thing that we have in our hand. Okay? Otherwise, see, we never had any choice where we will take the birth. Okay? We did not select our parents. We did not select the geography, which part of the world we will be taking place. We did not decide even our own body, which body we are going to take the birth in. So, and throughout the life, this incident is very favorite to me. Like in the churning ocean, right, Leela, where Lord becomes like a Kurma Avtara, and then the Lord is helping directly and indirectly, that you have to take the Mandarachal mountain, right, for the churning, and then Vasuki as the snake, and then to hold it straight, and then at the end even the Mohini. So all the times the Lord is helping directly or indirectly by guiding to the demigods, that these are the steps that you have to follow. And then the question will be asked, then why did the Lord not give the nectar directly? Why did he have to do all this complete Leela and do all these exercises? So all that Lord wants from our side is that little degree of that surrenderness. Because it does not matter. It does not matter that physically what pains we are going through. But for the Lord always protects. There was a news that one devotee in South Africa was murdered. There are a lot of incidences that happens. Then a lot of debate happened, and that devotee was chanting, and then because he's in the dead body, right? The hand was there in the bead bag, and then the people started asking questions: why did the Lord not protect the devotee? So the conclusion of all the debate after hours of discussion was Krishna protects the soul. Okay? What if we all know Antakale cha mamaiva smana muktva kalevram. While leaving our body, whoever remembers the name of the Lord, that person goes directly to the Lord. But now, what if we are in a very comfortable state? We are surrounded by all our dear, loving friends, relatives. And then in that situation, what if we are not able to remember the Lord? We have everything else other than remembering the Lord. Then there is no use. Okay? But the Lord knows the nature of the devotee and the situation. So the conclusion of that entire discussion and the entire debate was the Lord takes care of the soul. Bodily, Mother Kunti, the family of the Pandavas were always into problems. When Pandu Maharaj left and Mother Kunti became widow, they were the emperor of the whole world. But in that house itself, like Mother Kunti and the Pandavas, they were not safe. We all know so many conspiracies were formed, and so many times they were tried to be killed, burned, disrobed. So we cannot even imagine what kind of challenges Mother Kunti and the Pandavas had to go through. Maharaj Yudhishthira knew that even that gambling match that Shakuni and Duryodhana had organized, Maharaj Yudhishthira knew that they are cheating, because they were not ordinary personalities. It's not like Maharaj Yudhishthira. How come he could be? Everybody else knew that they were getting cheated. How come Maharaj Yudhishthira did not know? He knew it very well. So I come back to the point. Point is, bodily we might be going through a lot of pains and sufferings, but at the end of everything, if we are able to remember the Lord from our heart, this last line is very, very important, because we do remember, we do our chanting, and chanting gives unlimited benefits. But that chanting, which is from heart and calling the Lord from deep inside the heart, that has no comparison. Okay? So it is, we all are into different. Are we? What do we learn from the gambling match of Maharaj Yudhishthira? Are we outside that gambling match? If we question ourselves, we are also in the gambling match. We are investing our each and every moment serving Maya, and every time expecting some benefit, some happiness, some taste, some nectar will come, and it has never come. Are we not getting cheated? It is just the question of perspective, right? How do we see the situation? Life after life, birth after birth, we have been getting cheated in our gambling match, and we have no hope until we actually realize it. So yes, so Krishna takes care of the soul, and he is the sun, he is the light, and we are the marginal energy of the Lord. The moment we serve and incline towards the Lord, there is not a question of an iota of darkness at that point. But until we do it, we are serving the Maya only. Okay, we go to the next shloka. Yes, Prabhuji, you want to read the verse and translation? Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji? Yes.
तांस्तु सिद्धेश्वरान् राजा व्योम्नो वतारातो अर्चिषा लोकान् अपापान् कुर्वाणन् सनुगो चष्टलोकस्थितान् लोक लोक लोक
Lakshitan.
लक्षितान्
Yes.
Sanugo Loka Lakshitan. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Seeing the glowing effulgence of the four Kumaras, the masters of all mystic power, the king and his associates could recognize them as they descended from the sky. Hare Krishna Mother, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks, yes. Okay, request now Ashna Mataji to read the purport, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The four Kumaras are described herein as Siddheshwaran, which means masters of all mystic power. One who has attained perfection in yoga practice immediately becomes master of 8 mystic perfections. To become smaller than the smallest, to become lighter than the lightest, to become bigger than the biggest, to achieve anything one desires, to control everything, etc. These four Kumaras, as Siddheshwaras, had achieved all the yogic perfectional achievements. As such, they could travel in outer space without machines. While they were coming to Maharaja Prithu from other planets, they did not come by airplane, but personally. In other words, these four Kumaras were also spacemen who could travel in space without machines. The residents of planet known as Siddhaloka can travel in outer space from one planet to another without vehicles. However, the special power of Kumaras mentioned herewith is that whatever place they went would immediately become sinless. During the reign of Maharaja Prithu, everything on the surface of this globe was sinless, and therefore Kumaras decided to see the king. Ordinarily, they do not go to any planet which is sinful. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Balaji and Prabhuji, so much. Yes, for the sloka translation and Bhagavatam. Yes. So, a lot of learnings here. One is these four Kumaras we discussed. They were the sons of Brahmaji, and they were attracted to uh, the the Brahman. Okay? But the day when they smelled the air carrying the aroma of the tulsi leaves, they formed the Kumara Sampradayas. Right? Out of the four Sampradayas, one of them is Kumara Sampradaya. They formed that after they got the pure devotional service and the love towards the God. So now, when these four Kumaras are coming, they descended from the sky, and we hear from the purport that they did not have to use any uh, plain kind of machine, right? They came directly, and in this current world, right, when we have to go from one location, one point to another, we have to take the help of the so many other uh, instruments, and then there is always a risk. Will the fuel be over? Will we reach on the time? And so many things. But in the ancient times, these Kumaras could come without any support. So now, there is also a description of different siddhis which can make us very light, which can make us to get something which is placed very far. These are called anima, lagima, hima, prapti. Okay? That is not our topic. We all know in for Hanumanji, right? It is said, Ashta Siddhi Navniti ke Dada, Aswar Deen Janki Mata, and Ram Sayan Tumarai Pasa Sada Raho, Raghupati ke Dasa. So Hanumanji had all these Ashta Siddhis. Right? Now, after having all these siddhis in full, what did Hanumanji did? He sat in a corner and then he chanting, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So one who has all these siddhis in full and had nothing else to be acquired, had so much conviction and so much of bhakti for the Lord. But now in current time, we all have heard that story, right? One person spends his 30, 40 years and getting a siddhi which can make him walk on a water river. And then another says that you have spent so much of precious time of your life. And then it is just worth 25 paisa because that was the amount of money they have to give to a boatman to cross the river. So Chanakya Pandita says that any amount of wealth we can give, but we cannot get even a moment of life extra than what is allocated to us. So the life is very precious. It is not meant for these siddhis, because siddhis will remain here. Prabhupada was once asked that, can you show us some miracle? And then Prabhupada said that I have turned these hippies into happies. Is that a less miracle? Because externally something can be shown uh, very attractive, and then what is the use when the people dismantle and when they go to their place, the heart remains same. So what is the use of those miracles which are also temporary like our life? How many of us remember what we are? We are a doctor or an engineer or a prime minister or a scientist or anything. How many of us we remember who are we when we are sleeping, right? And we are sleeping good amount of years. If we are sleeping 6 hours a day, which is little less than average, but still if we go by uh, this also, then 25% of our life we are sleeping. So we ourselves don't remember who we are when we are sleeping. So the point here is that we should be very much focused, because the life is short and there is no question. We cannot make this mistake again. Which mistake? The mistake of forgetfulness. I met a devotee yesterday during our weekly program, and he said, I used to practice 30 years back with my grandmother, and now it is 30 years have passed, and he came newly to our congregation, and then we discussed that it is good that we realize that 30 years have gone, but then there is nothing that we can do for the time which has gone, but there are so many things that we can do for the time which is going to come. For sure, or maybe I, I have no right to say to be so sure, but most likely we don't have another set of 30 years remaining in our life, right? So whatever is gone is gone. And then I took the example of three examples: Parikshit Maharaj, Katwang Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days and he achieved the liberation. Katwang Maharaj had hardly 3 to 4 hours left. He also achieved the liberation. And then Srila Prabhupada, once he was asked, how much time does it take to surrender to the Lord? And Prabhupada just said 2 minutes. So we are not here. Vaisheshika Prabhu says, we are not here to become a great devotee. We are here to become a sincere devotee. Because if we are sincere now, that is sufficient. That is what is expected. And then when during Srila Prabhupada's times, like 1970s and 80s, right? When many countries were planning to go to different planets, then Srila Prabhupada wrote this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. And then he described that we don't need to depend on the artificial means of traveling. Just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we go back. We go back to our supreme abode. Okay? And even if we have any other desires, this uh, this Maha Mantra is capable of giving us anything what we need. But we are not here to have any material desires and use it. It will be something like there is a shloka, I guess from Padma Puran. where it says Gokoti Danam Grahaneshu Kashi Pariyag Ganga Yutakalpavasaha Yagyagatam Meru Suvarna Danam Govinda Namnam Kadapi Tulyam. If you take a weighing scale and on one side, if you keep all these things, which all things? First, Gokoti Danam. Koti means crore. Crore, crores of cows if you give in charity. Then what else? Grahaneshu Kashi. You stay in Kashi for thousands and lakhs of years, right? Paryaga Ganga Yutta Kalpavasa. Stay there for a kalpa. Kalpa is equal to 1000 into Chaturyuga. Chaturyuga is 43 lakh 20,000 years. So you multiply 43 lakh 20,000 years with 1000, and that becomes one kalpa. And you stay that long. Where? Paryag Ganga. Mother Ganga flows so many parts of India, but Paryag is most prominent. You stay there for one kalpa. And then third is Yagyagatam Meru Suvarna Danam. You do charity of mountain. Which mountain? The biggest mountain, Meru mountain. And you don't have to do the donation of Meru mountain. You have to give the donation of the amount of gold equal to the Meru mountain. And then you don't have to do 1 or 2 or 3. You have to do 1 and 2 and 3 and put all of them on one side of the weighing scale. And on the third side, on the second side, you put Govinda Nam Namna Kadapi Tulyam. If you put one name, Govind, on the other side, then it is an injustice. It is an insult to the name of the Lord Govind, because it is not worth comparing with anything on the other side. So the point is, we have got this most sublime, most recommended, most easiest method of approaching the Lord, of going to our supreme abode, back to Godhead. We must be fully convinced. I heard yesterday morning in a Japa talk that when we sleep in night, remembering the Lord and chanting His name with the intense prayer, "Oh Lord, let me remember you tonight. I spent all my lives, all my years wasting it. Please help me to compensate. Please come in my life. Please come in my dream." And then our consciousness is highly improved. And there are high chances when we wake up in the morning, we are into the same, we resume where we left. Okay. So we go to the next verse. Anyone wants to read? Please raise your hand. Okay, we start then. Darshano gatam pranam prati adi sura ivotitaha sasad sasadshayano vanya indriya yesho gunaniva. Translation. Seeing the four Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj was greatly anxious to receive them. Therefore, the king, with all his officers, verily hastily got up, as anxiously as a conditioned soul, whose senses are immediately attracted by the modes of material nature. Okay, so I see two hands, and I request Navkishwari Mataji to please read the pad.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In Bhagavad Gita 3.27, it is said, Prakriteh kriya manani guneha karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. every conditioned soul is influenced by a particular mixture of the modes of material natures. As such, the conditioned soul is attracted to certain type of activity which he is forced to perform. But because he is completely under the influence of material nature. Here, Prithu Maharaj is compared to such a conditioned soul, not because he was a conditioned soul, but because he was. Sorry, Prabhuji, can somebody else read?
Okay, okay, Mataji.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
sure, Mataji.
Hmm?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Sorry,
May
I
I
got
read,
some
You
echo.
Prabhu?
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yeah, please read.
Here, Prithu Maharaja is compared to such a conditioned soul, not because he was a conditioned soul, but because he was so anxious to receive the Kumaras that it was as if without them he could have lost his life. The conditioned soul is attracted by the objects of sense gratification. His eyes are attracted to see beautiful things. His ears are attracted to hear nice music. His nose is attracted to enjoy the aroma of nice flower, and his tongue is attracted to taste of nice food. Similarly, all his other senses, his hands, his legs, his belly, and his genitals, his mind, etc., are so susceptible to attraction of objects of enjoyment that he cannot restrain himself. Prithu Maharaja, in the same way, could not restrain himself from receiving the four Kumaras, who were bright by dint of their spiritual progress, and thus not only he himself but also his officers and associates all received the four Kumaras. It is said, birds of a feather flock together. In this world, everyone is attracted by a person of the same category. A drunkard is attracted to a person who are also drunkards. Similarly, a saintly person is attracted by other saintly persons. Prithu Maharaja was in the topmost position of spiritual advancement, and as such, he was attracted by Kumaras who were of same category. It is said, therefore, that a man is known by his company. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Pranams.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. Yes. So, I don't know how I'm getting my echo. My voice is repeating again. Is someone... Are you also hearing it again?
No, Prabhuji, we heard it
for
only
you?
once.
Okay, okay. No problem. Let me try that. Same way. Okay. So,
Hare Krishna. Yes, this one. Something for myself. Because I'm using two screens. You could get it. Okay. So there are so many takeaways. One of the very important shloka of entire today's discussion. This shloka number 3.27. All right. Prakati kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasaha ahinkara vimuratma kartam tinam. So we feel we are doing the things, but it is all driven by the three modes of the material nature. How do we understand that it is done by the three modes of the material nature? If Srila Prabhupada gives an example that there are three modes of the nature, and those three, when multiplied with three, it becomes 9. 9 when multiplied with 9, it becomes 81. And like that, so many desires that we have, they are like the heart disease. And then each desire is equal to one combination of three modes of material nature. So if we get 1,000 desires in our lifetime, that was equal to 1,000 different combinations of the three modes of the material nature. How do we understand it in a bit more detail so that it becomes so clear to us? Let us take the example of a TV. So Srila Prabhupada also tells that like in a TV, all the colors that we see, they are of three colors: yellow, blue, and green. Sorry, yellow, blue, and red. Okay? We would have seen those cables, three colors. It is called YPBPR. So Y for yellow, PB means blue, and R red. So these three colors cables, when they go behind the TV, then we see all the different colors on the screen. So what we learn from here is if you take a needle, you just imagine, okay? You don't have to do it because the TV screen will go bad. Just take a needle and touch it on the screen, TV screen, and wherever you place it, some color is there. Okay. Now that color is actually equal to a combination of these three colors. This is what this 3.27 is mentioning, what Srila Prabhupada is given in the reference purport. So if we want to transcend the three modes of the material nature, then the TV screen is not our playground. Means we have to think above. And what is the best way to come outside the TV screen is to take a remote control and switch on the TV. And what do we mean by that? Because as long as the TV is running, as long as we are japping the channels from one to another to third and then fourth, we are always engaged into the TV screen. Means what? We are always desiring something or another. Means what? We are always under the three modes of the material nature. Meaning, if one of the combination of these three colors, which we just discussed with the help of that needle and the TV and the cable. What do we do to come out of that? Switch off the TV, take the remote, close it off. And now, what do we do in the TV screen of our life? When we do anything to serve the Lord and His devotees, we are coming out of the TV screen. We are giving ourselves a chance to actually realize who we are. We don't see a picture which is shown to us by Maya. We see a picture which is shown by Krishna, by serving Him and His devotees. And the easiest and the most sublime method of that is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, what else do we learn from here? A man can be known by his company, right? It is a very general saying. If you want to know about a person, just check who are his 5 close friends. And then we can easily tell how the nature of that person will be. So we have to be in the association, because as long as we are in the association of the devotees, we are safe. But what happens after this? We go back to our different points, our different TV screens, right? If there is one word you want to take from an entire discussion of today, that one word is TV screen. Okay, which screen we are part of currently decides what is our consciousness. And then, yes, Krishna consciousness is the objective of the life. We know it now. We are discussing it now by taking the shelter of the purpose of Srila Prabhupada. But then, when we are not in association, then the chances of forgetting this purpose is very, very high. So it is said that when we are in the association of the purpose, our goal of life is in front of us. We see the devotees, right, serving. That is our purpose of the life. So we are seeing the purpose right in front of our eyes. So the chances of forgetting the purpose are almost not there. Yes. We go to the 4th verse. We have 10 minutes only. 2 more verses. Anyone wants to read now? Okay. We start then again. Gauravad. Yes, Padre.
Prabhuji, is it okay that if I read again, because I am reading it for the 3rd time?
Yeah, it is fine. Madam.
May I read Prabhuji
Gauravad.
after Mataji read?
Next one you can read, Mataji. Fifth
Sure,
one you
sure.
can read. Yeah.
No problem, Prabhuji. Let Mataji read. I read already 2 times.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay, Mataji. Please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Text 4. गौरवादन्त्रितः सभ्यः प्रश्रयानतकन्धरः विधिवत् पूजयाम चक्रे गृहीताद्यहर्णसदान. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the great sages accepted their reception according to the instruction of the Shastra and finally took their seats offered by the king influenced by the glories of the sages immediately bowed down. Thus he worshipped the four Kumaras. Purport: the four Kumaras are Parampara, spiritual master of the Vaishnava Sampradaya. Out of the four Sampradaya, namely Brahma Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, and Rudra Sampradaya, the disciplic succession of spiritual master to disciple, known as the Kumara Sampradaya, is coming down from the four Kumaras. So Prithi Maharaj was very respectful to the Sampradaya Acharyas. As it is said by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, Sakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastreha, a spiritual master or the Parampara Acharya should be respected exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Vidivata is significant in these words. This means the Prathi Maharaj also strictly followed the injunctions of the Shastra in receiving a spiritual master or Acharya of the transcendental disciplic succession. Whenever an Acharya is seen, one should immediately bow down before him. Purthu Maharaj did this properly. Therefore, the words used there are prasrayanata kandraha. Out of humility, he bowed down before the Kumaras. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you, Bhagavatam. So, yes, so it is the description of the four Sampradayas is mentioned here. And then it is the duty of a follower that we have a strong relation with our parampara and the acharyas who are following. Because ours is an instruction movement. Srila Prabhupada is not coming physically. Right? Our relationship with Srila Prabhupada is as strong as we take his instructions to our heart. So once Srila Prabhupada was asked, like, why have you come all the way from your country and then traveling to a distant place, and then why have you come? So Prabhupada mentioned, like, to be one amongst you, out of his humility. Okay? Srila Prabhupada he was a Vaikuntha man. There were so many occasions that in the initial days when our movement was getting formed, there were not many followers. And then there were some occasions when some program was organized and not many devotees had come. And then the other devotees were telling Prabhupada, sorry, we could not invite many people. And Prabhupada said, no, you don't have to worry. I was able to see Naradji, Shiva, Brahma, so many other coming and sitting on those chairs. It was the hostful program. We cannot see it. So once Malti Mataji was singing, doing the kirtan, and suddenly Srila Prabhupada started singing, Narada Muni Bajaye Veena. So suddenly then everybody was looking at Prabhupada. Why Prabhupada is singing another bhajan within the kirtan? Then Prabhupada mentioned, I saw Naraji. So in his respect, I did that. So why are we discussing that here? Prithu Maharaj, and he saw the four Kumaras, he paid the obeisances. When we cannot see Naraji, we cannot see Brahmaji, Shivji, their great associates, we cannot see them. But having a firm faith, this single statement can be, can be taken very seriously to our heart. When Prabhupada is seeing them, and if we accept Prabhupada's words, we are seeing them. Maybe let us take this as a homework tonight. I just repeat, when Prabhupada is seeing those great personalities, and if we accept the words of Srila Prabhupada, too deep in our heart, we are also seeing them. Otherwise, we are not seeing them. Let me explain this with the help of an example. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, when what was the name of the teacher? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was a great scholar. He was the dean of Vedic University in Puri during Mahaprabhu's time, and topmost of the scholar. And then Mahaprabhu gave the Shadbhuj, 6 arms darshan to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And now Pratap Rudra, who was the king of that place, Bhattacharya told to Pratap Rudra that he is not an ordinary person, he is the Lord. And Pratap Rudra took his instructions, his words to his heart, and continued serving Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was just a matter of few days. Mahaprabhu also gave darshan to Pratap Rudra, not in 6 arm forms, but during Rath Yatra, and then very few devotees were able to see. There were 6 or 7 groups, and Mahaprabhu was with each group all the times. Very few close associates of Mahaprabhu were able to see it, and Pratap Rudra was one of them. I took this example to make us more and more convinced that when we see Srila Prabhupada seeing other great personalities, and if we have great respect for Srila Prabhupada and his words, we are also seeing them. Because now we are seeing what Prabhupada is saying. We have to see through our ear. A lot of homework, right? How do we see through our ears? Last one. I request Mala Mataji. She had raised the hand and then we had missed. Is Mataji still around? Oh, no, sorry. All right. Tatpada Socha
Prabhuji, may I read?
Mataji. Yes.
तत्पादासौच शलीलैर्मार्जितालाकबन्धनः तत्र शीलावतामृतम् आचारन् मानयन्निव. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, may I continue with translation, or is Prabhuji waiting? Krishnamurti Prabhuji, are you planning to read? I saw you raising the hands.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare-
Mataji, still there are 4 or 5 members were there. They were keeping idle. Let them read, Mataji. Regularly
Okay.
we are reading.
Okay.
Another 4 or 5 members were there. So what? They were not involving in reading.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Are you able to see their
sorry,
names,
that is-
Mataji, in the chat?
Shall I read?
Please call Mataji. Call them and told them to speak. Read.
Divya Mataji, can you please read? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada.
Ah.
Srila Prabhupada. After this, the king took the water which had washed the lotus feet of the Kumaras and sprinkled it over his hair. By such respectful actions, the king, as an exemplary personality, showed how to receive a spiritually advanced personality. Shall I read? Chapter by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, "Apni akari Prabhu jivire shikaya." It's very well known that whatever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught in his life as Acharya, he himself practiced. When he was teaching as a devotee, although he was depicted by several great personalities to be the incarnation of Krishna, he never agreed to be addressed as an incarnation. Even though one may be an incarnation of Krishna or especially empowered by him, he should not advertise that he is an incarnation. People will automatically accept the real truth in due course of time. Prithvi Maharaj was the ideal
Vaishnava king. Therefore, he taught others by his personal behavior how to receive and respect saintly persons like the Kumaras. When a saintly person comes to one's home, it is a Vedic custom first to wash his feet with water and then sprinkle this water over the heads of oneself and one's family. Shruti Maharaj did this, for he was an exemplary teacher of the people in general. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Am I audible? Because my
Yes, Prabhuji, you're audible.
Yes, we can hear.
yes, thank you. So yes, so we learn from this verse that we should be receiving the great personalities, whomever, wherever we get a chance to receive them, right? Whether at our home or when we see in the temple. Every time someone may see that if we pay an obeisance to some Maharaj, and if Maharaj again passes by the same place, there is no harm. Because every time when we pay the obeisance and when we get up, we are a different person. So I just say one small incident that once a very senior person from like Bangalore had when they went to in those initial days when Prabhupada was there, 1970s, he took the flight very urgently, rushed up, and he went to Srila Prabhupada during his almost the last days. And after a lot of request, he was approved to see Srila Prabhupada, because in those days it was not easy. But when he requested many times, then he was granted to see. And then Prabhupada said, Prabhupada, you have asked, you are allowing your disciples and other visitors to touch your feet. Do you know that when they touch your feet, even in your sculpture, right? Then when they touch your feet, you get their karma. And Prabhupada nicely and very innocently replied, yes, I know that. This is the reason why I have come to this world. So that personality he did the pradakshina of Prabhupada, and then he was very much touched that Prabhupada knew it. He thought that after taking the flight, and because those days taking the flight was not an easy task, right? So, and it was very touching thing. So the point that we learn here is we have to feel as much indebted as we can for Srila Prabhupada, because that is our only asset. Any other debit that we take in our life, it is a liability. But when we are indebted to Srila Prabhupada, that is our real asset. Okay, so that is all about what we had to discuss. And then finally, I seek your forgiveness for various reasons. One, initially there was a lot of issue with Zoom, and then secondly, for not giving a sufficient chance to all the audience. I will improve it next. And then Vancha kalpataru vescha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If one or two devotees have any comments or questions or anything, please feel free to share. Otherwise, we are done.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, please, if you don't mind, you need not ask our pardons. Yes, because you are the spiritual master. And then you explain this like anything. Really, we are all blessed to hear this class, as because you have told that Govinda, or the Supreme Lord, is the ultimate. So you are by determination, we have to place in our hearts. So thing is, so there is no comparison for Govinda, Supreme Lord. So all material things are useless when we heard this class. So here, if if we confirms and if it is imprinted in our hearts, definitely vairagya will come this moment alone. It has to come. It is to be implemented. So we must pray him, we must praise him. Often and often, every moment to moment. Then only really we will be liberated. Then I think this chanting process also gives much satisfaction during this class. Really, Prabhu, I have no words than this. I am grateful to you. Thank you. I request your kind self, you are the spiritual master. You please bless us, be in the conscious forever till our life. This is my request, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
If I can serve you forever, this will be my only achievement of my life, Prabhuji. Otherwise, I'm just repeating the words of our acharyas, what they said. Kindly bless me that I can serve you. Hare Krishna. Okay. So thank you so much, Prabhujis and Matajis, and we continue further hearing Prithu Maharaj. Hare Krishna. I end the meeting with your permission.